Have you ever had a salsa roja that has very, very unique complexities, so deep in flavor that you wonder, is this made with tomato? What's in here? Well, let me show you how to make it. So we're going to start off with simmering water. Yes, I said simmering water because I want the water to be hot already when we add the tomatillos here. The reason being is because we don't want to overcook these. Why? Because we tend to forget when we set something in cold water. So if we put them in simmering water, we know that it's only going to be like 4 or 5 minutes before they actually change color. Now, as soon as they start changing color, that means that they're already cooked from the inside and the skin's going to begin to rupture. And if they do rupture in the water, you're going to lose all of that goodness. Then what's the point? Once we pull them out, we're going to use some of this water, but I'm going to dump about half of it. Why? Because we're going to add our dried chiles to that. These are the dried chiles that we're going to be using today. Now, if you haven't seen my Dried Chiles 101 series, I highly suggest you look at it because I explain why and how we use these chiles. Now, I'm using the chile ancho here for our tomatillos so it can help with the body. I'm also going to use a couple of guajillos here for color. We don't want this to go too dark because between the ancho and the morita, it can go dark. Now, the morita is for smokiness, complexity, and spiciness. All right, so where were we? So I went ahead and dumped half of the water that was in here, and now I'm going to go ahead and add the chiles that we have available to us, which are the guajillo, the pasilla, and our morita chiles. Now we're going to let the chiles steep here for about 12 to 15 minutes. I went ahead and turned off the heat. Hey Chivo, so why did you dump half the water to add the chiles that you have here? Great question. The reason is because we are going to use some of that water. We're not going to use all of it. We're going to use some of it. And that water is going to contain all the goodness that these chiles are going to leak. And we need to preserve as much flavor as possible. We don't want to be dumping out flavor. We want to add it to the sauce. Now, I forgot to add garlic to the tomatillos when they were simmering. So what I went ahead and did is I sliced the garlic into very thin slices so that I could put them on this little chile tea that we have going on here. And by slicing them thin, they will quickly cook and soften their punch. Then go ahead and take everything to your electric molcajete here and make sure to add it all, your chiles, your garlic, your tomatillos. Go ahead and add that liquid gold. I used about 98% of the liquid that we use to steep the chiles. And of course, our mandatory dry seawater. Now we're going to go ahead and blend this, and if you know by now, my blender kind of sucks. The good thing is that we hydrated the chiles, meaning that they're very soft. So if you were to get a piece of the chile, it's actually delicious and it's actually pleasurable because you're getting the full flavor in combination with everything else that's going on with that salsa. But if your blender is better than mine, you can have this salsa as smooth or as chunky as you wish. Either way, this is a great salsa for tacos, for pretty much anything. And when I say anything, I really mean anything because this could be the base to, I don't know, chile colorado or carne con chile, something like that. Just like France has their mother sauces as their backbone, Mexico has dried chiles as the backbone to Mexican cuisine. Without dried chiles, who knows what our cuisine will look like. Please make sure you take a look at my mini series on dried chiles. It's nice, short, and punchy, just like me in a boxing ring.